Hello and welcome. It's time for postseason hockey here in Goggin Ice Arena in Oxford, Ohio, on the campus of Miami University of Ohio. It's time for the start of the TSCHL tournament here in Ohio. Round one, Denison and Indiana. First period coming up in just a minute. Andrew Hillsman alongside Ryan LaPedis. Ryan, this is going to be a fun one. It's the fourth of 4 games that have been played at this facility today, and Ohio State took care of business against Bowling Green. You had Ohio wallop Dayton, and you had Miami of Ohio take down Michigan.
Yeah, final game of the day here after a long day of hockey, even a play-in yesterday between Bowling Green and Louisville, and it'll wrap up this quasi-first round of the tournament and head into 2 semifinals tomorrow. The winner of this one will head there as this matchup between the Hoosiers and Denison is getting ready to get started. The Hoosiers coming into this one 18-6-1, Denison 8-15-1. Denison looking to pull the upset, and Indiana looking to move on to the semifinals.
Time for playoff hockey here in Ohio. Adam Urbancic glides in to take the opening draw against Ryland Crozier, and we are underway as Crozier wins it. Denison moving from right to left. Indiana left to right in their crimson and white uniforms. Denison in their primarily white uniforms with red lettering and black accents. This puck is shoveled out to Aiden Flanagan, who's the starting netminder, has had a pretty solid year in net for the Indiana Hoosiers. Has only made 3 starts as he missed the entire first semester with an injury and then came back and has been solid. This goaltending quadrant sort of has been really solid all year for Indiana.
Yeah, really solid. At the front of it, Evan Tompkins with a 9-2 record. Gutzman at 7-0, and as you mentioned, Flanagan solid 2-0 in his 3 starts.
Urbancic is beaten on the draw again, and Denison will try and take it over their blue line, and out falls to Ian Burke below the cage. And Denison now maybe with numbers, a 3-on-2. If they try to get it into neutral waters, they'll do so. As shuffling it ahead is Seth Kaplan at the blue line, and it falls back out to Paul McClure, who will scan, fire a 2-line pass, and it's chipped in by Ian Burke for a line change. 19:24 to go, first period, 0-0 our score. Head coach Jeff Bullock, in his first year with the Indiana Hoosiers, has led them to the postseason. They're 18-6-1 on the year. Battle for the puck as Bauermeister sends it into the Indiana offensive zone, and instead to take it is Evan Pavlik of Denison. Indiana took down this Denison team by a wide margin earlier in the year when they played at Frank Southern Ice Arena. Moving towards the left is Henry Davis along the near side. It's a takeaway just in front of the benches, and Isaiah Byram has it at his own blue line. He'll go to the top side to Ryan Pizzuto, who will flip it off of Burke's stick, and it's chipped in. Strickland will chase. He gets to the puck before Raiden Yokoyama is able to. He gets stuffed in the corner, and this puck will travel all 3 lines from right to left. Flanagan plays it in front of his goal crease. 18:38 to go in the first period of play, as Byram will start things off behind his own cage. It's a dump-off pass. Pizzuto gives it right back to Byram, and Indiana's forwards will come to help. Byram works on the south side, looks towards that near side. Burke has it. He'll take it across the red line now into their own attacking zone. He stops at the near side half wall. Scrum for the puck ensues. It is jabbed away by Brady Ford, who goes low for Bauermeister. Bauermeister right behind the cage with 18 minutes to go. Indiana trying to get something going, as instead Denison will be able to clear at the red line, and now back into Indiana's defensive zone. It's Carter Grimes who will try to advance things up towards Luke Slavin, who dances from south to north at his own blue line and shovels it in, as Indiana will dump and chase. Ford is there, and at the Denison goal line extended, it falls now to John Zach at the left side point. Denison with a takeaway. The Big Red will play it off their near side bench as Carter Grimes comes in to take it, and that puck is out of play with 17:34 to go in the first period. 0-0 to score.
Pretty fluid so far. Most of the puck control coming from the Hoosiers, but haven't really gotten any shots on net in my count.
It'll be a center ice face-off to be contested by Lucas Opdyke, a freshman forward who stands at 5'9", 180 pounds. Opdyke will contest it against Graham Sutton, and Opdyke will win it. Chipped into the zone, and chasing after this puck is Nolan Moore, the freshman, out of Walnut Creek, California, at the far side half wall, with 17.5 to play in period number 1. 0-0 to score. Opdyke chips it into the right side circle, and now a scrum ensues for it as Trowbridge is involved as well for Indiana. Shuffling the other way are the Big Red, and Sweeping the puck in is Zach Kulik as he'll play it back to Flanagan. 3 minutes elapsed in this first period. John Zach looks to start the breakout. Puck on his stick, it's Nolan Moore, carries it over all 3 lines and into the Denison zone. Stick handles lost the puck, and it's cleared back into the neutral zone. One thing worth noting is that this rink is a little larger than what Indiana is used to. The Frank Southern Ice Arena is much smaller than what most ice should be. This is a great sheet of ice at the Goggin Ice Center. We are right behind the main Division I ice, which is hosting a big game tonight as Miami of Ohio, their NCAA Division I team, hosts number 4 Western Michigan.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see we see the crowd trickling in behind us. But yeah, this is a nice ice sheet here, but a lot more space than the Hoosiers are used to playing at home at the Frank. 16:48 to go first period, and Urbancic will get kicked out of the circle as Jake Rock will glide and take his place. He wins the draw. It's tied up in that center circle. Urbancic lost it at the blue line, and now Denison with a chance. A shot from the right point taken by Ryland Crozier. Didn't find anything. A second attempt from that near side face-off dot also finds nothing. A pin up against the boards by Urbancic, and it slithers to the near side for Ian Burke to pick it up. Plays it off the glass in a rolling puck. Hits off of the ref. A race for the puck ensues. Looks like Jake Rock will get there first. One-hand spear. Centering pass, looking for Konstantinos Raftis, and a great save made by Lennon Kuhl. The starting netminder for Denison this evening. Paul McClure kicks it at the blue line. It's chipped in, and Indiana wanted a high stick out of that. A chance bruise in the middle slot. 16:07 to go. First period of play, 0-0 to score. At the blue line, Raftis shuffles one in, and a bobbling puck is eventually killed and covered by Lennon Kuhl. Well, finally, there's some action in front of the nets. Each team with a shot. I would say 1 for Denison, and now that was 2 for Indiana in quick succession. For the first 3 minutes, neither team was able to get a shot away. And Indiana finally putting some pressure on and getting some chances.
16:01 to go, period number 1, as Luke Strickland, the man out of Greenwood, Indiana, comes in to take this draw. Tied up, and it falls out to the right point for Byram. He flings one on, stick save made, and it's regurgitated out behind the cage. Nobody's there for Indiana as Denison moves to look to get something started up that near side. It's Burke in the near side face-off dot, just to the left of Lennon Kuhl. Now below the cage, up on the top side. Bauermeister gets involved with a Denison player on that half wall. Now a breakaway chance. Strickland shoots, scores! 1-0 Hoosiers as Luke Strickland puts Indiana on the board within 5 minutes of this game starting.
He just came out free in the slot, picked his spot in the top corner, and absolutely buried it. It took just 4.5 minutes, but Indiana is on the board first in this TSCHL quarterfinal.
Those defensive zone turnovers are something that Indiana is very good at capitalizing on, and Strickland picks up a goal for the first of the postseason for Indiana. This is their first of hopefully many postseason games, so they have a 1-0 lead with 15.5 to play in period number 1, and still a chance to add on more. Backhand pass from Slavin gets it out to Pizzuto, who fires a shot that hit off the crossbar from the left side point. That was a deep shot from Pez, and it didn't find anything. Slavin battling for the puck in the trapezoid, and now it kicks away. Denison looking to play it off that board. Ford comes in to challenge. It's at the blue line, and the Big Red will have to sweep things away, and that is Thomas Kresge. Goes to the top side looking for Crozier. Crozier puts one on, and it is stopped by Flanagan.
Nice save from Flanagan, especially with all the pressure he actually ran into a little bit while making the save, but able to keep it in front of him and cover up. And it's just an offensive zone faceoff now for the Big Red. Indiana still up 1-0.
15:03 left to go, period number 1. And off the draw, Indiana controls it in their own defensive zone. The Hoosiers are going to look to get it into that neutral zone. A great forward pass from Ford. Gets it to Schmidt. Ford gets it right back. Wanted to give it back to that near side. Centering pass, nobody's home on the opposite post. And it will retreat the puck on the stick of the big John Zach at the neutral zone. At the red line in the south side. Flip ahead pass for Schmidt, who looks to go to the center, looking for Opdyke, didn't find him. Schmidt will get it right back. Toe drag shot was deflected to the line. Isaac Goldstein gets pinned up against the boards. Great physical play by Carter Grimes, and now it's Luke Slavin with a 1-on-2. Right up Main Street. Into the near side, far side face-off circle, tries to go for possession of the puck, and now the Big Red are going to move the other way. Isaac Goldstein advances, and he will clear as the Big Red will change lines. 1-0 the score, 14:01 to go, first period of play. Denison has had a couple of decent chances, but now play slows down as Roftis will look to start things off. On the breakout, he goes to the top side, and he finds his teammate in Nolan Moore. Towards the center, Moore will go cross corner, and now it's Trowbridge who comes in to contest. Far side, Roftis. Nobody's home at the left point, and Denison gets around. This is Owen Rabadam, and instead he gets his pocket picked by Paul McClure. McClure with 13.5 to go is going to take it over all three lines, and he got tripped up. That is an easy penalty call, and here comes a power play for Indiana with 13:29 left on the clock. Every power play in Indiana hockey's season this year sponsored by Mother Bear's Pizza, and I really wish we could get some, but we're not in Bloomington right now. What a shame.
Just a little too far away, but yeah, pretty clear trip at the blue line when they tried to get the entry. Headed to the box for the Big Red. Looks like it'll be Finn Lewis. And so now the first special teams opportunity for either team. It goes the way of the Hoosiers, a chance to try to double their advantage here, nearing halfway through the first period.
When you think about their ability to create takeaways in their own offensive zone, that'll be easier with Denison down a man. 13:29 to go, and Brady Ford gets kicked out of the circle. Face-off draw, it's won by Rock. Towards the point, Slavin glides in, shot went high over the glove of Lennon Cool. Burke on the near side at the half wall, goes submarine below the goal line. McClure right point, passes to his point man, Rock, who quarterbacks, and a good save made by Lennon Cool on a shot from the point by the alternate captain in Jake Rock.
Not a lot of traffic out in front, so Cool could see that one all the way. Had it covered, and just 16 seconds come off that penalty before the Hoosiers get their first shot of the, I believe it's the second shot of that power play.
First one that was on goal.
There you go.
As Slavin had an attempt early, he had a lot of range but missed the cage. Ford off the tie-up as Burke comes in to help, and it sweeps out to Rock, who will start off the power play. Glides in, shot, great vision from Cool as he puts it into his chest and kills it dead.
That time he had Brady Ford in front of him having to fight through that screen. Still makes the save, but Indiana doing a good job getting pucks on net in this advantage so far.
13:04 to go, period number one. Ford on that draw, the top line of power play on the ice. Rock will find McClure, who glides in. Back to Rock at the high slot, puts a shot on, kick save Cool as it is towards the near side, and Denison is able to clear. Indiana has to exit the zone. It's McClure with 1:20 to go on the power play. Slavin takes it in at the far side blue line. It's Ford on the left dot. Will stop up, find some space, off the kick plate, back to Slavin. Slavin dumps it off for Rock at the blue line. Rock advances. Errant pass towards Burke on the near side, and the freshman number 8, who's a strong goal scorer, goes below the cage, got tripped up with the puck, and now towards the top side for Slavin. Looking for a centering pass into the slot, nobody's home. Out to McClure with a lot of room to work. Cross ice pass, Burke, cross corner, didn't go. Burke tried to get to Jake Rock on the far side, and Denison is able to clear with 45 to go on the power play.
And he absolutely had him on the far side. If he could just get his stick on it and direct it home, didn't even have to take a shot.
Here's a chance for Rock with Strickland in the center. A deflection went wide left. Indiana still with possession of the puck. Grimes at the top. Strickland, who's already scored once, and Rock's the board. Trying to shovel it out is Ryan Burke, and that puck's still crammed in that corner. There's about 5 guys over there. Scrum finally breaks as it falls to the near side, and Denison's able to sweep it away. Good play.
Pretty good penalty kill so far for the Big Red.
And that will kill the penalty off as Finn Lewis exits the box. It's back to full strength. Indiana 0 for 1 on the man advantage. They lead 1-0 with 11:25 to go. Over the blue line, it is Strickland, now Burke. Burke lost it at the blue line, somehow gets it right back from the far side half wall. Goes to below the cage with Strickland, wanted to pass it back into the slot. It's Strickland moving towards the bottom of the rink, towards the near side. Grimes towards the top. Roftis tries one, it went high, looked for a deflection, didn't find one. 11 to go, first period, and 1-0 the lead for Indiana off Luke Strickland's goal. Here's Bauermeister, who scored a hat trick against Denison. Grimes, cross ice pass, looked for a deflection, good, stop from Cool again. Back on that 5-on-5, and the puck is corralled in the center circle. by Konstantinos Raftis. Just about halfway through this first period, 1-0 the score. Raftis goes towards the near side, and Denison has 3 men back at center ice. Now on the top side, gains the zone, Ryan Burke. He will submarine around, now take the horseshoe route out to the point. Byram bats down a rolling puck, goes to his point man in James Martin. His shot attempt got blocked that time by Thomas Kresge of the Big Red. Chance developing. Flanagan hasn't seen some action in a little while as James Martin gets shoved into the boards on the top side. That's gloved down by Rylan Crozier, who gains the zone in a 2-on-2. Far side dot. Byram tries to block his shot. Nobody's there on the far side post to receive a good pass for the Big Red. Byram looks to exit his own zone, and Hill instead let everybody clear out before that happens. Now he gets pressured. Nice move to gain himself some space. Carries it over 2 lines at the red line. Now he'll chip it on in and chase it himself with 9:50 to go in the first. Ryan Pizzuto comes back on the ice for Indiana. He will gain the play. In the near side corner, it's taken right off of Opdyke's stick, and a bobbling puck from Trowbridge. Byram is there, but he lost it. Over to Henry Davis of Denison, and a hit at the blue line. Maybe a turnover, and a chance that will be offside. A little bit late on the whistle, but only 3 officials for this game, so that's sort of to be expected.
That was a little delayed, but definitely an offside. Pretty easy call there, and that's one of the first breaks we've had in a while. It's been a very fluid game, not a lot of stoppages so far.
The puck can actually fly up here. No low rafters for it to hit like we're used to at home. 9:23 to go in period number 1. Hacking and whacking for it just in front of the Indiana bench. And some loose ice for the Big Red as they send Henry Davis up ahead to make things happen. Trowbridge skates ahead, the freshman with a 3-on-2. Stops at that half wall and the medium point. Saucer pass to the near side. McClure fumbled at the blue line, swept it low. Nolan Moore comes in to provide pressure, and Opdyke takes his man to the ground. Moore now to McClure at the near side point. And Denison not happy with Opdyke keeping Yokoyama down on the ground. Opdyke a turnover. He got it on the right side dot. And McClure was able to wedge it out. At the slot, Opdyke, one-time pass, and the net got dislodged, but they'll say play on for now. Maybe it just jumped. 8:30 to go in the first period. Opdyke flings one on. It was kicked by Jackson, and thankfully for Denison, Cool was able to clear it away. Pizzuto at the red line, lost his skate, and Indiana will change lines. It's a 1-0 hockey game, 12 minutes into this one. Loose puck on the top side. Rock comes in to keep it in the defensive zone, and head pass got batted down as somebody took a skate or something, and a Denison player is still down. At to the right side point, Grimes. Near side half wall, Rock flew it to the top side for Zach, who puts one on, kicked away, rebound still alive. Burke is down there. Puck gets loose. Urbancic. Grimes will fling it to John Zach. Winds up, snap shot, deflected in front, Rock sent it away. Burke with some fancy stick moves at that red line, at the goal line extended, but nothing came of it with 7:34 to go in the first. Denison will have a line change as running out of space to work. On that far side is Zach Kulik. John Zach takes his puck away off his stick. Rock looking for a head pass. He's got room to work. Got held up a little bit in the center circle, and the armbands stay down. Big Red with a chance as Graham Sutton lost it at that blue line. And instead, hustling up the near side is Luke Strickland, who scored the lone goal of this game, lost it in front of his own bench. But Carter Grimes is there to pick up the pieces. Rock lost it. Now maybe a chance. Whiffing on the shot in the slot is Graham Sutton. Flanagan had to be ready for it, but didn't face a shot. 7 to go, first period. 1-0 the Indiana lead. As an off the kick plate pass falls to Ryan Burke. Strickland's there to corral, and instead Denison will find some open ice. Pass wanted to go over all 3 lines, but didn't find it. Raftis dances in, puts a shot on, a floater that went high. Burke tried to spear it towards the crease again, a good stick lift at the goal line. And Bauermeister gets punched up into the boards. Denison trying to make an outlet. It's a 2-on-3. This one's chipped in by Seth Kaplan. And Isaiah Byram, his number 27 counterpart, will sweep it away. Far side face-off dot now below the cage. On the near side is Isaiah Byram. Ryan Burke shipped it into the neutral zone. And Denison will dump and clear as the Big Red will change lines. Far side corner in the offensive zone is Kresge for Denison with 5:55 to go, period number 1.
Yeah, it's been incredibly fluid play so far, and you saw that play on the Indiana offensive zone where a Denison player went down. It was Jackson. He got hit in the skate inadvertently by Jake Rock, and he was down for a little bit, seemed to get up fine, and came off the ice under his own power. Obviously no stoppage.
Yokoyama gloved it at his own blue line, and now Denison looking to ramp up the pressure a little bit with 5.5 to play. Good stick work in the middle of the ice by James Martin. And advancing things ahead is Schmidt. Bumped off the puck is Brady Ford. And now Denison will move the other way. Ford provides pressure on Owen Rabadam, and it's played by Flanagan behind his own cage. He comes out of cage, but nobody's there to pressure. Slavin involved, and now it goes below the Indiana net on the near side in the corner. Great hit by James Martin, who shellacked his man into the boards. Room for McClure to work as Schmidt stops on the line. Indiana gains the zone, a 3-on-3. McClure dances in, backhand shot straight to the chest of Lennon Cool.
And we finally get a whistle for what feels like the first time in 5 minutes.
Sure,
I'm not sure how long it
yeah,
has been.
It was a while.
But both teams playing fluid, but neither team able to retain possession in the offensive zone for very long in that stretch. It's been very back and forth instead of one team holding it in for very long.
4:49 to go in period number 1. It's a 1-0 hockey game. Off the draw, a shot went wide from Slavin from the far side hashes in that dot. Slavin retreats back alone. Trowbridge kicks it out to the top for Martin, who will send it right back where it came from. In the trapezoid, Indiana with a chance. It's Nolan Moore. 4.5 to play, period number 1. Centering pass, James Martin on defense from Zach Kulik, and Kulik lost it to the blue line. Denison has really not had a good scoring chance or shooting chance in probably 5 or 6 minutes. Now maybe one developing as I say that. Crozier dances in, stick saved by Flanagan. The announcer's jinx might just be real. Seth Kaplan dumped off on the near side. One-time shot, Denison scores! Thomas Kresge on a one-timer from the middle slot. Goes bar down, and it's a 1-1 game.
It felt like you were just waiting and waiting for Denison to get a good chance. And finally they get one, and make no mistake, in the slot. Not much that Flanagan could do. The defense let him out to dry a little bit, and it's 1-1.
It was a great entry feed from the near side by the Big Red, and we have a 1-1 hockey game. As Urbanczyk comes back in to take the draw, and he'll shoot it through his legs to get back underway. 4 minutes to go in this first period. This is not a frame that Indiana, I think, is going to be happy about unless they regain this lead. Urbanczyk tried to send a centering pass over to Jake Rock. A slap shot. One-timer, they score! John Zach sent it in. It might have been tipped, but Indiana, just like that, has the lead.
It took maybe 10 seconds, but the big man, John Zach, gets on the board and gives Indiana the lead back 2-1.
The Zionsville native with a powerful clapper from the left point gives Indiana a 2-1 lead. Scores in quick succession. Indiana strikes right back with 3:52 to go in the first.
That's just Zach's 4th goal of the season, but a big one to get the momentum back, calm the team down. As you mentioned, try to get the lead going into the break.
Off the draw, Indiana in its own zone. John Zach and Luke Strickland have scored the only 2 goals of the game thus far as Indiana leads 2-1. It's Urbanczyk. Now to the near side, Indiana with a couple of guys get tripped up in center ice. Armbands stay down. Indiana wanted a penalty. They won't get one. 3:20 to go. It's the Big Reds puck. Now it falls loose in the ref half circles on the sides of the... What the heck was that bounce? That was a shot from the red line on the far side. It went past Flanagan's net and
it
went off the corner of the boards and shot above the netting.
It hit the little red part at the top, and it made a noise I've never heard a hockey board make before, and it bounced all the way over the net. That is impressive.
It's just odd. All right, well, there we go. 3:09 to go. Center ice face-off draw on the way. Strickland wins it. He's been great at the dot today. Pizzuto goes back and forth with Byram, who skates up the middle. Gave it off to Pizzuto on the top side, and it's chipped in by Garrett Bauermeister. Strickland is in there to pressure. Instead, Bauermeister for Indiana. Rather, Pizzuto tries an attempt from that point. Bauermeister has space. Centering pass, wanted to get it to Strickland. Puck still loose. Burke turns, shoots, and his shot was deflected by Jackson. Pizzuto with a second chance attempt from the far side dot with 2.5 to play. And that one is discarded. Flipped up high, and like I said earlier, that would have been into the ceiling at the Frank, but it was cleared and out of play on that far side.
It would have gotten about 20% of the way up and clanged into the ceiling.
Into the rafters, right. Indiana had a power play earlier in this game, was unsuccessful. Denison looked really good on that kill. That might be a factor that Indiana has to get around later in the game. 2.5 to play in this first period. Near side blue line, up high, off the top of the glass, and it stays in play for Pizzuto to shovel it in. Tie up for the puck ensues in the far side corner, and Burke comes away with it. Centering pass for Bauermeister, sent it wide left. Burke got it right back, tried to get it back into the crease. Burke a third chance. Puck still loose right in front of the net, and Denison's able to get rid of it. This should be icing, and yes, it will be. No, they called it off. 2 minutes to go in period number 1. It's a 2-1 game after Indiana got their lead right back off an early Denison goal. Now it's Crozier. Dances over the blue line, stopped up, and Pizzuto punches him into the board. 1:40 to go, 100 seconds on the clock. Big hit from Pizzuto, right behind his own cage. Returning hit, this will be interference on Denison. Here comes another power play. They're going to get Lucas Charis, the senior defenseman out of Glencoe, Illinois, for a penalty. Looks like it was interference. No, it'll be a tripping call. So this will be power play number 2 for the Hoosiers, who are 0 for 1 on the special teams unit.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Denison. Not too much contact, but going to the ground nonetheless. And now the Hoosiers, 1:34 left in the period, so unless they put one in before the end of the period, this power play goes the whole way till our first break.
1:34 to go. Rock off the draw. He plays Pepper with Slavin. Rock's got it with space to work. Just scanning his options. Kicks it to McClure, who winds in the near side dot for Ian Burke. Burke faces, shot, goes to the far side. Indiana converts. A cross-crease goal as Slavin put it home, and the Hoosiers lead 3-1.
He was standing there for a couple seconds with it right on his stick, trying to put it home back door. Finally slams it in. And Luke Slavin's got a goal, his 13th of the season.
Good for him, and that is just clinical. Didn't waste any time on the power play. And Luke Slavin on the assist from Ian Burke. I thought Burke was going to shoot. Maybe he did, but he played it right off the pad of Lennon Kuhl. And on that left post was Luke Slavin for the easiest goal you'll ever find. So Indiana, it's 3-1. Denison with a chance. Puck loose and off of the stick blade of Flanagan. He eventually caught it as it waffled in the air with 1:10 to go.
And at this point, Indiana, after getting the momentum back, they got 2 goals to get a 2-goal advantage. Would be content to go in with this score, I think. Have the momentum back, take it into the break, and talk about what happened on that Denison goal.
Well, they got the power play unit working. That'll be a point of emphasis, something good that happened, which is always a positive. 70 seconds to go off the draw in the own defensive zone as Ford wins it. Plays it off the glass near the Indiana board. Slavin involved, and now carrying it over the blue line. Centering pass looked for Schmidt, who got hammered in the back. Probably should have been a cross check, it looked like to me, right in center ice. That was a big hit, but nothing is called, and now here comes a penalty. That's a slap shot after the whistle, and here we go. Slavin and Crozier getting into it. Lucas Charis and Roftis having some words. So I think this will be alternating Slavin over there.
Well, there was an original Indiana penalty.
Yeah, now they're going to send Slavin over.
And I imagine the slap shot, I wasn't sure who the penalty was going to be called on as the arm went up. Neither team had possession in that moment. And I think that's what happened.
Yeah, McClure's going to head in as well. So they'll say 5-on-4, so a man advantage coming up for Denison. in the last 45 seconds of this period. That'll, of course, carry over unless Denison's able to net their second goal of the game. And head coach Jeff Bullock getting the explanation of what happened there.
There's a little bit of an awkward play. You have the initial penalty, and then you have the reaction afterwards. There were two players in the altercation definitely heading to the box, and then the one for the original penalty. I think McClure must have taken the original penalty. I didn't see him in the mess.
Yeah, that is what I assumed, but everything kind of got kicked off by that hit that Matthew Schmidt took in between the dots.
Yeah, that was an interesting play there. You could have seen a couple of penalties possibly, and let's see, in the box for the Hoosiers is
it's McClure and Slavin for sure.
They have 2 minutes up on the board, and then same for Ryan Crozier of the Big Red, but it'll be 4-on-5 for the Big Red. I mean, 5-on-4 for the Big Red.
So man advantage coming up as we're back ready to go for the next 45 seconds of this period. Off the draw, Indiana wins it, and now maybe a breakaway. Jake Rock, right down Main Street, shorthanded, comes in. We're going to have a penalty shot.
Absolutely, and taken out on the play is cool.
Oh, dear.
You hope he's all right. That was a tough play.
I'm not sure what happened there, but the net got dislodged, the water bottle is discarded, and Lennon Kuhl looks like he is not in a good spot. He's going to be able to push himself up off the ice, thank goodness. Oh, he's still down. Oh, dear.
Yeah, that was a tough play, and
I don't know if he caught like a skate to the chest or an elbow or shoulder. I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, but from behind, Rock got taken out, and
oh, dear. The other goaltender that is dressed for Denison is James Dorsey.
Yeah, he is.
But it looks like Kuhl's going to be able to stay in this game.
And if he stays in, he's immediately going to be facing a penalty shot.
Yep. But he is still being tended to. Doesn't have his mask on just yet. 36.9 seconds left. Yeah, Kuhl's just catching his breath. He's keeled over in his own crease. It was a fast-developing play.
And it ended up being a little bit of friendly fire with the penalty taking Rock out and him going into the goal. And, of course, not the purpose of what Rock was trying to do. He lost his legs. Glad he's all right.
So the penalty shot will be taken from left to right. It's Jake Rock who got fouled and got taken to ground. That was as clear of a penalty shot as you're ever going to find. That's a clear breakaway, and it was a complete clear impediment for Rock. All right, they're going to reset the net. Got 36.9 seconds to go. Indiana looking to extend their lead to 3 goals before the end of the first frame with this penalty shot from Jake Rock. We saw Andrew Chambers score one against Dayton in the final home game of the year. Can Rock do the same? Lennon Kuhl staying in the game is how it looks right now. Receiving encouragement from his bench. So the posts are reset. Jake Rock handles the puck off the center dot. Right down Main Street, cuts to the top side circle, couple of stick handles, and it got poked away. A great stop by Lennon Kuhl. Rock maybe trying to do a little too much, and Kuhl keeps this a 2-goal deficit for the Big Red. That's a big-time play.
Yeah, that's a nice poke check. Rock didn't have a chance to make his final move, didn't get a shot off, of course, and now Indiana is still on the penalty kill.
Yes, they are. Minute and 52 left on that penalty, and 36.9 seconds to go in the frame. Draw on the top side. Let's see if Indiana can convert anyway, but they're shorthanded, so I don't think they're going to press the issue. Instead, Bauermeister is there to spear the puck on the forecheck. They're trying to provide as much pressure as they can, and now Ryan Burke and Bauer will have to hustle back. With some space on the top side for Denison, it's Kresge who gains his own. Dumped it off for Kaplan. Kaplan skates in, goes along the horseshoe, and he stops up in the trapezoid. Below the zone with 10 seconds to shoot for Denison. Shot from the point. Great block by Bauermeister. And the Big Red fumbled it. Nobody was there. Rabadam was able to try something at that blue line, but a good period And Indiana will stay on the penalty kill when we come back to action in period number 2, but a solid period for Denison, really, to keep this within 2 goals.
Yeah, it was a solid period from both teams. It's hard to say that when one team's up by 2 goals, but Denison made some plays to keep it at a 2-goal game. Obviously, the penalty shot saved. They have a goal of their own, and they'll still be on the power play for 1:15 when we come back for the second period.
We will be back for the second period in just around 10 to 12 minutes, so stay tuned. This is Indiana Hockey in the Tri-State Collegiate Hockey League tournament in Oxford, Ohio on the Indiana Hockey Broadcast Network. We'll be back in just about 10 minutes.
Welcome back into Goggin Ice Center here in Oxford, Ohio. We're getting ready for the start of the second period of this final quarterfinal in the TSCHL tournament here at the at Miami of Ohio. 3-1 lead for the Indiana Hoosiers. Ryan LaPedis here with Andrew Hillsman. I'll be on play-by-play here in the penalty carries over from the first period. It's been a really fluid game so far, Andrew.
Yeah, it has. A couple of good goals, and Slavin on the power play got one to go for Indiana. And here we go. See what they come out with.
Jake Rock wins the faceoff back into his own zone where Denison will take a neutral ice, and quickly a big hit, no hand up. Back on his feet is Rock. He loses the puck, and the Big Red will restart in their own zone. Kresge has it and waits, circles it over to Kaplan, and Kaplan will retake at the red line. He'll gain the blue line into the zone, still on the power play for 49 seconds, circles behind the net, loses it and regains it just underneath the linesman. He gets pinned into the boards by Rock, and the Hoosiers fight in the corner for it. It's back to the blue line, over to Kresge. Kaplan shoots, deflected wide, might have hit his own player, and Indiana will chip it into neutral ice and get a clear with 28 seconds remaining on the penalty. Kaplan gives it up, and the Big Red gain the zone with Lewis before Indiana chips it down. And that's another clear with 16 seconds left on the penalty. But now quickly back into the zone of the Big Red. It's a 3-on-2. Loftus catches up to it, and Indiana can't get the clear, but this time they will with 6 seconds remaining. And as it goes all the way down, that will be the end of the penalty.
From Indiana to get things moving. That was really well done.
They'll now reset with 5-on-5 play as the Big Red put the pressure in and lose the puck over to Martin. And Loftus will bring it into neutral ice over the red line. Drives by himself, loses the puck, gets picked up by a teammate, and it's cycled all the way back to Loftus, and he goes behind his own net. Pressured up by Kulik. Loftus will give it up. With speed is Strickland, gives it off. Bauermeister back to Strickland. He can't get back on the puck. Bauermeister now in front, a shot, save, another chance, still with it, a shot, they score! There were 3 Hoosiers in the area, and they put it home. Indiana, just 2 minutes into the second period, is up by 3.
Yeah, that's a big-time goal. Looks to me like it's Luke Strickland's second of the game. Big time from Strick.
Luke Strickland, 2 goals in this one, 2 of Indiana's 4, and quickly a 3-goal advantage after killing off the penalty. Indiana gets on the board. They stay at it. They get second, third, fourth chances, and they put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, you just got the goaltender of Leighton Rindock out of position, and good things will happen when the shots you're able to get compound over a short amount of time. That's a really good start to this period for Indiana.
Exactly what they wanted. Pizzuto dumps it in. He'll try to catch up with it, but he can't quite in time. It falls near the blue line where the Big Red will take it away with speed, and Sutton, he passes it up over to Kulik. Heavy pressure and taken away by the Hoosiers. And Slavin with speed, he's got a teammate with him, passes it off to Ford. Now behind, a chance, and it's deflected wide. Another early chance for Indiana. Pizzuto, long-range shot, deflects wide. Where Denison will pick it up, but it doesn't get out of the zone. Another long-range shot deflected just to the left of the net in front by Bauermeister. Fighting forward in the near side corner. Finally back out. A hit right in front of the Indiana bench. And Pizzuto will try to get it to it in neutral ice. He will, and cycle it over to Byram. Off the boards. It's still loose at the red line and dumped in by Ford. Indiana is looking for a change. They'll get it. 3 Hoosiers come off. Pass is taken away by the Big Red, and into neutral ice come Denison with Lewis. It's a 1-on-4 as Denison goes for a change, and he fights for it in the corner all by himself. It's taken away by the Hoosiers and Carter Grimes. All the way up to Loftus. Comes in the zone, shoots, deflected, still loose in front of the net, and chipped away by a defenseman. And now on the breakaway, Finn Lewis stops up, trying to wait for help, passes across, and it's just past the outstretched stick of Davis. Denison able to keep in the zone. Davis gets it back in the slot. He's trying to go on the backhand. He'll circle back around, and it's deflected. And now with some speed, here comes Nolan Moore. Can he get on the puck? He will. From the side, he shoots. Side netting, no goal. It was covered by Leighton Rindock. And Indiana will have to reset. Two-line pass over to Trowbridge. Trowbridge, backhand shot is
neutral zone trap this sort of whole game, and it's worked well for them. They've done a good job of creating pressure, getting takeaways, and, you know, just creating consistent pressure. It gets exponentially harder for Denison to make their defense work if Indiana's able to get these chances.
Shut off the face-off save. 2 shots and a couple saves from Rindock. After Jake Rock won the face-off for the Hoosiers, Indiana still has it. Ian Burke will get it back behind the goal. Not sure if he was ready for it. He gets dispossessed in the corner and is trying to keep it into the zone. Let the Big Red take it away. It's Charis. He'll pass, a chance, and a glove save. Aiden Flanagan, wow, flashing the leather. What a nasty save. It was a great chance for Denison, and Flanagan picks it out going the wrong direction.
Wow. A couple inches more to the right. That probably beats Flanagan, but that is a pretty save.
It keeps it at a 3-goal advantage for Indiana, and they win the faceoff in a quick 3-on-2 if they want it with Ian Burke. Burke and Rock, and it's going to be offside, and that may have saved Indiana, as Denison might have had a 3-on-2 going the other way.
Yeah, they would have had a chance, and man, that was...
Burke with 12 goals in that breakaway. Jake Rock with 19. That's coming into today. And Strickland can't win the faceoff for the Hoosiers. It's won back by Crozier. As it's back into neutral ice, Strickland gets danced around by Kaplan, who gains the zone for Denison. Picked up by McClure. He'll cycle it around to Roftus. Stop up and set things up for the Hoosiers. A 2-line pass over to Bauermeister. He'll shoot, and a glove save by Rindock.
Yeah, Rindock's looks solid. Just that one shot that's beat him thus far. I think the defense has let him out to dry a couple of times, definitely in that first period. He had a really good first period and a great poke check on that penalty shot from Jake Rock, and maybe that was just a case of Rock trying to dance a little.
Struggle for Denison, as that one's a stick save. And a chance right out in front for Ryan Burke, and it's saved again by Rindock as that puck bounced around, and I don't think Ryan Burke got his whole stick on it. And they fight forward in the near side corner. Just out of our view as they chop away at it. With 14-17 remaining in the second period, Denison gets it free. Now a chance, deflected, goes left of the net. That was Pizzuto. And Denison will finally get a change, but Indiana will be all over it with Bauermeister. They don't get a change, they just get the clear. Ryan Burke chases it behind the net, gives it up to Bauermeister, who couldn't control it. Now Strickland does. And he gets it back out to the blue line to Byram. Back to Strickland. Strickland, cross ice. Pizzuto, shot. It's blocked out in front and goes to the right. Still with Byram. Pizzuto can't get the pass, and there's a lot of pushing and shoving in front of the net, and a Denison player on the ground.
Looks like that's Owen Rabadam. He gets back up.
Byram still has it back to Strickland. Strickland shoots. Kick save, and he'll get it back up to Byram. Lots of pushing and shoving in front of the net. Could have been a cross check. No call, and there it is.
Yeah.
And a shot save.
For a cross check here, and Rabadam is obviously doesn't agree with it, but you do that a couple of times, sure, but he just was slamming Bauermeister just in front of the crease as Bauermeister was trying to screen.
Many times,
yeah,
on the cross check in front
I mean,
of the
a couple
net.
of times it's even, sure, but I mean, as soon as Bauermeister, he took a couple of checks in the back, and then Rabadam just continued to pressure on when he really just did not need to.
A chance for this Indiana power play. They're 1 for 2 tonight, and a missed penalty shot. Jake Rock.
He caught a stick up high, too.
McClure. Slavin. He has it at the dot, gives it back up to Rock. Indiana moving methodically on the power play. McClure, his shot saved by Rindock. he had it low and went up to grab it as it popped up off his stick.
Yeah, not too big of a challenging shot right there, but still a lot of time left, 100 seconds on the man advantage if you're Indiana, and this is a big point in this game. A 4-goal lead is really tough to come back from, especially with how sound Indiana's playing defensively. They've really only been beaten on a truly tremendous shot in that first period.
That was a nice shot to put Denison on the board. It tied it up at 1. Since then, Indiana's put 3 straight on the board. Forward wins it back to Rock. Rock has it at the blue line. It's back to Rock at the point. He can't get it cleanly. He'll give it up to Ian Burke. Ian Burke, now Rock again, looking for something in front. He had a backdoor chance for Slavin, but it hopped over his stick. McClure back to Rock with 1:17 remaining on the penalty. Rock's long-range shot is blocked right in front of him and goes up into the netting for a stoppage. 1:13 remaining on that penalty. That was to Rabadam for the cross checks. I'll say cross checks in front of the net. Indiana has controlled this second period so far.
Absolutely. Scored once and really nothing doing for Denison in the offensive zone.
Ryan Burke was trying to fight for it, but instead the Big Red get their first clear in this penalty kill with 1:03 remaining on the cross check. Second unit on now. Roftis over to Strickland. Strickland will cycle it back to Roftis. Strickland circles. Him and Roftis play catch. Ryan Burke, cross ice, and it's intercepted right in front of the crease and cleared away. Nice play there by Kresge. 33 seconds remaining on the penalty. Denison gets a full sail change. Strickland at the blue line. Grimes with 13 left on the penalty. Roftis waits, shoots, deflected out wide with 6 seconds remaining on the penalty. Still Indiana has it. Ryan Burke, backhand pass. Bauermeister shoots, pad save. Picked up by Ryan Burke. He waits and he loses the puck in some traffic with his teammate Bauermeister as they fight forward in the corner. Strickland and Bauermeister along with Yokoyama. Back to Grimes, cross to Roftis. He's got some room, he shoots. That one's saved. And finally Denison gets a clear and they'll beat out the icing. Coming out to play it is Flanagan. He'll play it off the boards and Strickland will catch up to it and put it in neutral ice. It'll be picked up by Slavin. And we'll get a whistle. And I think it's going to be an interference on Denison. I heard white. That's why I thought right. Denison. Denison in their white jerseys. Indiana and
no, they're going to get Matthew Schmidt for this.
Instead, it's on Matthew Schmidt. Interference was the call. And now Denison will head to the power play. This will be their second chance. They're 0 for 1.
They just got to try and see if they can score and score quick here on this man advantage. They need to.
So with 10:31 remaining in the second period, a chance for the Big Red to try to get back into this one. Puck's behind the net, picked up by Byram with a lot of speed. He'll send a clear that also is a breakout pass for Ian Burke if he can catch up to it. He can't quite. He gets his stick on it to slow down Denison's reset. And now they will with 1:43 remaining on the penalty. Over to Crozier. And he will get it back at the blue line. Long-range shot, not close. And Indiana gets a clear and a chance for Jake Rock if he can catch up to it. A quick 2-on-1. Ian Burke, can he get a shot away? No, it's blocked in front by the defender. That was Crozier catching up to the play. 1:08 remaining on the penalty. That was the interference call on Schmidt. And finally, Denison able to get back going the right direction. Kaplan gets in on Flanagan, who came out to play it.
Yeah, bold for him to come out to that.
Flanagan on the pad, and he'll cover it.
Unbelievable. Flanagan is putting on a show.
Came across and made a couple saves there, but the big one with the left pad keeps it at 4-1. 42 seconds remaining on that penalty.
Well, it's really hard for guys to elevate the puck that close in, and if Flanagan can keep that kind of bottom half of the net all closed with his big white pad, then that is a recipe for success.
Face-off won by Denison. Pavlik. Cross-ice pass. Now to our side. Flanagan gets the save on Rabadam. And a clear for the Hoosiers with 26 seconds remaining on the penalty.
This is the best this unit's looked all night for Denison.
They got the shots. Here's a chance for Crozier. Cross ice, a save by Flanagan.
He's just seeing it really well. There's no way around it. This is impressive stuff.
That was a nice glove save. Followed that one all the way up. And with 16 seconds left on the penalty, both teams with wholesale changes as the Big Red try to get back into this one. Down 3 here, just past halfway through the second period. They win the face-off over to Jackson. That shot was way wide to the right, and Indiana's going to be able to pick it up with Nolan Moore. He tries to stick it ahead but can't. Recovers and sends it all the way down, and 3-2-1. The penalty has expired. We're back to even strength. Behind their own net, the Big Red try to regain possession from the high pressure of Opdyke. Instead, it's taken away by Moore, and he'll send it deep. Zach will come off for the Hoosiers. They fight for it behind the Denison net. Goldstein cycles it over to Jackson. Jackson is pressured, and he'll get through it. Instead, he gets his pocket picked. Denison has not been able to get out of their own zone for a while here. Nolan Moore with the shot that goes across the crease. McClure picks it up. He'll cycle all the way around and lose it. It's going to be picked up by Kulik. Not before he's met by Opdyke. They fight forward on the boards. Cross-ice pass couldn't find a Hoosier stick. Roftis will pick it up at the blue line and backhand it behind the net with 7:35 remaining in the second period. Trowbridge will cycle it over, trying to find Opdyke. Opdyke, very physical there. Here's a chance for Indiana, and it doesn't find the stick of Trowbridge. And finally, Denison gets in the offensive zone for the Big Red. Indiana not having 7:15 remaining in the second period. Denison will try to get back into this one with an offensive zone faceoff.
Yeah, I mean, they're not out of it. They've had a much better second period. Have only allowed one. Just need one to go. Flanagan's a stone wall back there.
Standing tall so far for the Hoosiers. McClure fights on the boards for it. Right out in front, a spinning shot by Lewis. Couldn't find the net. Now the puck's loose. Neither team can really pick it up. It's Roftis fighting in the corner with Rabadam. And finally, McClure will break out for the Hoosiers. They have numbers here. Pass in front. McClure, a shot. It's saved. That was a glove save by Rindock. He didn't get it in the glove, but deflected it wide. And the other way comes Davis. Davis, backhand pass, goes all the way across the net mouth. It'll be picked up by Rock. He tries to break it out of the zone by himself, and he will in the neutral zone. And there's a whistle.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was. Interference call.
Interference call.
Dude, this is going to go on. I didn't see.
I think from who had possession when the whistle came, yeah, it looks like it's going to be on the Hoosiers with Roftis.
Wow.
I didn't see the play where it happened, but where the whistle came, it was Indiana possession, so it'll be the third opportunity.
Right. You got to think at some point that the relative undiscipline of Indiana thus far is going to come back to bite them. It hasn't just yet, but they got to improve on the discipline side of things.
Third opportunity now for Denison. They're 0 for 2 so far in the power play. Pretty solid kills for the Hoosiers so far. Byram takes the puck away from Kaplan. Can't catch up to it, though. And that one deflected by Rock. And it'll be cleared by Ian Burke. With 1:29 remaining on the penalty, Indiana gets one change. Ryan Burke is on the ice. Both Burkes at the front there for Indiana, Ian and Ryan. Spelled differently.
Notably.
That puck's just loose in neutral ice before it's picked up by Crozier. He tries to pass to the middle, but it's blocked by Ryan Burke. Ian Burke gets deked away, and Ryan Burke will get the clear.
Really good job from Burke to stop that at the blue line. And that should be icing, and it will be.
And icing on the power play. It's not what you want to see if you're the Big Red. It'll be an offensive zone faceoff for the Hoosiers with 56 seconds remaining on the penalty.
This isn't the only game happening here. We've got Miami of Ohio's NCAA team hosting number 4 Western Michigan. It looks like Western Michigan's out to a 1-0 lead in the first. I think you and I know what we'll be doing during this intermission.
Going to head over across the hallway.
I think so. I think we should do that.
Face-off, not won cleanly either way, but Denison comes away with the puck with 50 seconds remaining on the penalty. And with a lot of speed, Rabidam. That's Nathan Rabidam who had it. Now back the other way, Bauermeister takes it behind the net. 40 seconds remaining on the penalty. He goes to ground. And finally, Owen Rabidam. Excuse me, that is Seth Kaplan. A deke there. And it's back to the blue line for Kresge. That one tipped out of the zone.
Big poke from Bauer.
Bauermeister making the play, and Denison's all out of sorts with 18 seconds remaining on the penalty. Indiana gets the possession. They can try to ice out the rest of this kill. They send it down, but it's intercepted by Kresge. And coming back the other way, they can't make a clean pass, and the big man, John Zach, tries to apply the pressure with 4 seconds remaining on the penalty. Circling behind the net. Bringing it back up top, still holding. Penalty is over, even strength now coming out of the box. There's a shot that goes wide to the near side. Still the offensive zone pressure here for Denison. Yokoyama sends it behind the net. And finally it's picked up by Grimes, and he's able to get it clear, but this would be down for an icing. Indiana can't get a change.
Let's get them out in this 3-goal lead. It's not where they want to be. They want to really make a statement against this team, but it's been a less successful first period.
Comes away with it, and now with a lot of speed, Bauermeister cuts in the middle of the neutral zone, goes to the ground, gets the pass away over to Grimes. Grimes dangles, gets dispossessed by Jackson, but is able to get it back. 3:43 remaining in the second period. And Indiana will get the possession back in the neutral zone. Ford stops up, looking for help. He gets taken to the ground, and the puck's loose between his legs. McClure's stick sends it to the boards before it's cleared away by Denison, and Indiana will reset. Now the freshman James Martin gains the zone. Takes it behind the net. Pass out in front of the net is blocked. He'll try to fight for it behind Rindock. Martin still has it. And that puck was close to the blue line, and it will be icing.
Yep.
Excuse me, offside.
Just snuck over the blue line on the wrong side.
Yeah, it was a hard pass to handle over there for Slavin, and he couldn't. So with 3:06 remaining, we get a whistle. And Denison and some Hoosiers will change. Well, it looks like a full house over in the main arena.
Not a bad crowd for this game either.
Well, pretty good crowd here on the B pad, as they call it, with 3 minutes remaining in the second period. The stick going down. It looks like it may be a penalty.
Slashed.
A slashing penalty coming on Denison, and so now the Hoosier. I think I saw the slash.
That's what I saw too.
Motion. With 2:48 remaining, Indiana heading to the power play. If I'm not mistaken, they are 1 for 3 tonight so far, and a missed penalty shot.
Yeah, it'll be 2 minutes for slashing on the alternate captain, Thomas Kresge.
Kresge, a senior from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yeah, the thing is about that call, when a guy drops his stick out of nowhere, that just doesn't really happen. So there's usually something that happened to cause that, and oftentimes it is, in fact, a slash.
Yeah, usually sticks don't just do that.
No.
Face-off, as we wait for the face-off. Ford tries to win it for the Hoosiers. It's not clean, but they win it. Rock passes across to McClure. Now on the other side of the net, a chance. It's off the back of Rindock for the save. He knew he was beat. A chance for Ian Burke, and that one is blocked and goes into the netting. And Denison was looking for an interference call. Kulik was taken to ground.
Yeah, Kulik and Ford were kind of tangled up in the near side dot for most of that run of play.
So with 1:43 remaining on the penalty, Indiana with another offensive zone faceoff after that shot was blocked up into the netting. 4-1 lead for the Hoosiers. They started the period great. They killed off a penalty, and then they scored. But since then, both teams have gone quiet. Big Red win the faceoff over to Yokoyama. There's a chance out in front. Now Rock dangles, shoots off his stick, a shot that goes wide left. Jake Rock, a nice dangle to get a shot, but couldn't get it clean. And now that pass, I think a teammate was expected there, but Jake Rock will keep it in the zone. He holds, he shoots, and that one's blocked up into the netting with 1:17 remaining on the penalty.
Well, Rock is just so intelligent at the blue line, and he's a versatile.
Really been all over the ice tonight. I feel like I've been saying his name a lot. I mean, 44 points, you're going to be saying his name a lot.
Yeah, he and Chambers are two of the top point getters in the entire conference.
Now Grimes gives it to over to the far side, Ryan Burke.
Just taking their time. Still a minute left on the man advantage.
Ryan Burke still has it, gives it back up top to Grimes. Grimes, long-range shot. Bauermeister tried to chip it back to the blue line. He didn't get all of it. Strickland still has it. He's all right after that shot hit him, and Denison gets it clear. Now going the other way. Grimes. He looked like he was going to give it to Bauermeister, but he holds onto it right at the blue line, and that pass a little bit too far. Roftus had to take it out of the zone, and Indiana has to reset with 10 seconds remaining. Now into the zone, Bauermeister. His shot blocked right at the point. 3 seconds, and back to even strength. Ryan Burke, now Strickland. Bauermeister shoots, and it goes high and wide to the right. It'll be recovered by Byram. Indiana now 1 for 4 on the power play. Strickland gets it back in the zone. Gives it up to Bauermeister. Backhand shot goes high. 32 seconds remaining in the second period. Indiana has had most of the possession in these last 4 or 5 minutes of the period. And with 22 seconds remaining, a pass is flubbed by Byram. He'll recover and get going the right way. He gets dispossessed. Ryan Burke will pick it up. 12